Hello everyone, it's Marine for lawnfawn. I'm back with a new platform pop-up card. It's inspired by this Singing in the Rain mini slimline card. I made it back in February for Spring Release Week. And I've heard that Kelly Marie loves this movie, so I thought it would be fun to recreate my mini slimline card with the platform pop-up dies and have some happy rainy vibes on the channel. So contrary to what I usually do, I didn't use a ton of stamps on this card. I used Beary Rainy Day, elphie selfie for the small umbrella. Here we go, a-waddling for the lamppost, critter concert for the music notes, the platform pop-up die and the add-on, Henry's ABCs to create the word sing, and finally a banner die from Everyday Sentiment Banners. So here we have all my images that I stamped using lawnfawn jet black ink, except for the lampposts. I wanted to add a bit of shadow on those two images, so I stamped them using Riverwalk ink. I cut them all using the coordinating dies and then colored everything using my alcohol markers. And just like my mini slimline card, my platform background is going to be pretty neutral with grays and blues. So that's why I'm going all rainbow and colorful on the bears and umbrellas. So now that the coloring is done, I can move on and work on the platform elements. I started by cutting the different pieces out of Strathmore Bristol cardstock. We have 2 main pieces, 3 T-shape pieces and the background panel. And like I said before, I'm going to use neutral colors on those pieces. I'm starting with the main pieces. These will be identical. I'm first applying Licorice Smoke Distress ink all over the element. This step is totally optional. We definitely could have cut 2 main pieces out of fog cardstock, and our grey panels would be done already, but I like my distress inks. So our grey base is done. On the top scalloped part, I'm going to create a brick texture, and on the other sections, including the one at the bottom with the slot, I will just add some texture. I'm using washi tape to separate the top part from the bottom, and I'm going to create a brick texture on that section. I'm using the brick stencil and Licorice Smoke oxide ink. Licorice Smoke oxide ink is darker and more opaque than the Licorice Smoke Distress ink I used for the base, so it will create a nice contrast between the base and the bricks. Next step, I'm going to add texture all over this grey element, and I'm starting with some white splatters. I'm mixing a few drops of Copic opaque white ink with water to add a first layer of splatters. Next, I'm mixing some Licorice Smoke and Black Soot Distress inks with water to add more splatters and contrasts. So here's a close-up look at this first platform element. Off screen, I did the exact same thing on the second platform and on the 3 T-shape pieces as well. So next, I'm going to assemble the platform pop-up base, and I'm first folding the 2 main pieces, folding them on the score lines that the die creates. Next, I'm going to add double-sided tape on the tabs, the one at the top on the scalloped section, and the one at the very bottom. Next, the T-shape pieces. There is a score line on those pieces, so I'm keeping 2 of them. I fold the score lines, and I add double-sided tape on the small tabs at the bottom. And if you watched the Pirate Platform pop-up card I shared a few weeks ago, you know that I didn't build the platform in the right order, so I struggled a little bit to stick those T-shape pieces. But before filming this, I watched Kelly's intro video, and it definitely was easier to assemble the pieces. So my advice is to always watch Kelly's intro videos before building an interactive card. So I'm flipping my platform panel upside down, and next I place a T-shape into the slot. I fold this section with the slot. I pull on the T-shape piece to make sure that it's fully in the slot. I remove the backing paper of the T-shape piece. I fold it behind, and I press to stick it really well. Next, I peel the backing paper of the platform element tab, and I fold the scallop section on that tab, and here our first pop-up element is done. I'm doing the same thing on the second panel. I put a T-shape piece into the slot. I fold the part with the slot, and I pull the T-shape piece. I remove the backing paper of the T-shape tab, and I press to stick that tab. Next, I peel the backing paper of the platform piece tab, and I fold the scalloped part on the tab to form the second pop-up element. And both pieces will go just like so. Next, I'm going to stick the last T-shape piece. We don't need the tab at the bottom, so I'm just cutting it off. And I'm going to add double-sided tape at the back of it. I'm peeling the backing papers, and I'm just folding flat one of the pop-up pieces. And I'm going to attach this T-shaped piece right in the middle, with the long horizontal part peeking out at the top. Next, with both pop-up pieces folded flat, I line them up next to each other on my grid, and I can attach them with the tab. I also need to add double-sided tape on the bottom part of one of the pop-up pieces, just like so. I remove the backing papers, and I fold the other pop-up piece to connect the elements. And finally, I can complete this platform pop-up card base by attaching the remaining tab to the other platform element. And that's it. Our brick wall and sidewalk are done, so now I can create a rainy night sky on the background panel. I'm going to use Blueprint Sketch, Chipped Sapphire and Black Soot Oxiding to make that sky. I'm starting with some Blueprint Sketch at the bottom. Next, I'm adding Chipped Sapphire on the rest of the panel. And as always, I'm using my blending tools back and forth to achieve a nice blending. And finally, I'm adding a little bit of black soot at the top, and I'm blending it with my Chipped Sapphire blending tool. Once I was happy with the result, and before adding raindrops, I'm quickly adding some texture, water droplets first, and I'm drying the paper with a paper towel. Next, some white splatters using Copic Opaque white ink mixed with water. And finally, for a little bit more contrast, I'm also adding black soot splatters, but not too much. I set the paper aside, and once it was dry, I created raindrops. Super quick, I'm just using the Rainy Sky stencil along with some fairy dust stencil paste. I'm applying a nice and even layer all over the panel, and voila, our rainy background is all done. When it was dry, I added thin double-sided tape at the back of it, all along the bottom edge. Now I can fold it on the two score lines, and then I attach it at the back of the platform pop-up right on the inside scalloped edges. And the scenery is complete. Now we just have to add the cute bears, umbrellas, lampposts and water splatters inside the card directly on the three T-shaped pieces. And like I said in my pirate platform pop-up video, to me the best way to stick images on those T-shaped pieces is to use 3mm glue dots. These are very small and it's the perfect size for those T-shaped pieces. Next, I created my sentiment in two parts. For the first part, I white heat embossed the phrase rain or shine on a black licorice banner. And for the second part, I created the word sing. I cut the letters twice, out of peacock cardstock and out of white cardstock. I glued the white letters behind the peacock ones to create some sort of an outline. And then I'm going to stick those letters on the front of the platform with the small banner right above it. To decorate the side sections, I'm also gluing some music notes. And to stay in this rainy theme, I'm applying a coat of glossy accents on the letters to bring a shiny and wet effect. And that's it, all done. Let's pop our platform up to reveal the scene, and let's join those cute singing in the rain bears and climb on the lampposts and have fun jumping in the puddles. I hope that you like this sweet and fun, colorful platform pop-up card. Thank you so much for stopping by and see you in the next video. Have a very nice day. Bye!